Today, I will introduce a thrilling horror movie from 2020 called The Super Deep. The story begins in 1984, when epidemiologist Anna Fedorova loses her research partner after a vaccine experiment goes wrong. Feeling guilty for allowing human trials without preliminary or animal testing, Anna wants to shut down the project. However, Colonel Yuri Morozov stops her. He says stopping the project won't make her feel better, and the military in Africa needs her. If she quits now, her friend will die in vain. A few months later, Anna is celebrating the new year with her family and friends, who congratulate her for quickly developing the vaccine. Their dinner is interrupted by a call from Morozov, who asks Anna to join a special mission. As a result, the research station has been shut down and will be sealed within 24 hours. The head of the research has been accused of concealing data related to an unidentified disease, and that's why they need Anna. After Morozov promises to give her full recognition for the discovery and the position of director of the Military Biological Defense Institute, Anna agrees and prepares to depart. The next morning, Anna arrives at the research station with Morozov and a group of soldiers, led by Major Sergei Mikheyev and his assistant Igorov. As soon as they arrive, they face their first problem. A scientist has fled the research station, holding a grenade. He detonated the grenade as he approached the helicopter. The window shattered, and everyone inside was rendered unconscious, but fortunately, they were all safe. Everyone quickly recovered and exited the helicopter. Anna wastes no time and immediately goes to examine the scientist's body to collect samples. Meanwhile, Sergei mocks her accent and tries to guess where she's from. However, the sample Anna collects from the body turns to dust as soon as she seals the test tube. She also couldn't help but notice a strange red glow emanating from the scientist's body. One of the station's guards explained that the scientist went insane as soon as he reached the surface. He was so strong that no group of 3 soldiers could contain him. The remaining staff are currently being evacuated, so Anna decides to collect samples from them before they leave. One of the men tells her that everyone down there is dead and that the disease is a lie, so she should go back to her family. The miners seem to be fine, but one man with a scar saw something that terrified him. So, Anna begins to think that this might not just be a simple disease. Chief Scientist Pyotr Kuznetsov welcomed the two and escorted them to the research station. The vehicle also carried a team of soldiers and Dr. Dmitry Grigoriev. Anna tries to ask questions about the mysterious disease, but Grigoriev refuses to provide details because he believes they all have their own agendas for being there. He will only help enough to get them samples and ensure the safe evacuation of the survivors, nothing more. Anna wants to know why he kept the survivors locked up in the first place, but Grigoriev doesn't answer this question. The group continues to move towards the elevator, where Grigoriev must be extremely careful when entering the access code. Because if the code is entered incorrectly 3 times, the elevator will fall freely as a security measure. Fortunately, he enters the correct code on the 3rd try, and the group begins to descend deep into the world's deepest artificial borehole. When the group reaches the research floor, the elevator fails to respond. Grigoriev has to release the elevator's pressure and wear an oxygen mask, while the rest of the group loses consciousness. When they wake up a while later, Grigoriev is gone with the elevator key. It seems they have arrived at the facility's resort area, where staff normally live. The main research floor is even deeper, and there is a second elevator that can take them there. They cannot activate it without the key. This area used to be very crowded, but now only 2 staff members remain. Engineer Nikolai and Dr. Kira Vitalyevna. They were the ones left behind during the initial evacuation. Kira leads the group to the laboratory, where Anna takes samples from both of them and examines them under a microscope. She confirms that neither of them is infected. It seems that Grigoriev had planned everything, and they were intentionally left in this area because it is clean and shows no signs of the disease. Therefore, they will need to find the true source of the disease elsewhere. Speaking of Grigoriev, he appears to ask Anna if she can get the group back to the surface through the emergency tunnels and rescue them in time, because people must always be the priority. Anna calls the guards to arrest him. Before they can reach him, Grigoriev escapes by using the elevator, leaving only a bloodstain on the elevator door. The group decides to send a team of soldiers, led by Igorov, into the emergency tunnels. They will need to pry it open, as Grigoriev had sealed it off. Meanwhile, the guards wear protective suits to withstand the extreme temperatures on the lower floors. The bunker door suddenly opened in a strange manner, revealing Olga Krylova, the lab assistant, who appeared extremely unwell. After overcoming the harsh temperatures to reach Olga, the soldiers rescue her and bring her into the laboratory. Anna asks Olga several questions, but she doesn't remember anything about what happened down there. Olga also has a high fever, though she says she feels cold. When Anna removes Olga's cloak, she discovers something terrifying on Olga's back. The mold-like growth of fungus covered her entire back. Olga insists it doesn't hurt, even when Anna cuts into it to collect a sample. Meanwhile, the guards report that they have discovered some form of living organism on the lower floors. Anna places the sample under the microscope and discovers that it is a type of cellular parasite, an extremely toxic form of fungus. Fungi and molds are among the least studied forms of life, and this particular fungus is one that has never been encountered before. This is enough for Morozov to make the decision to terminate the mission and begin withdrawing everyone. Nikolai starts working on the elevator system to force it to operate again, which will take about an hour. Sergei tries to re-establish contact with his team. But they seem to be having serious trouble with something dangerous and no longer respond to the radios. At this point, Grigoriev contacts them through the loudspeaker system. He hopes they can escape through the emergency tunnels, but now they have no other choice. Grigoriev continues to activate a bomb to seal everyone in the facility, apologizing and begging for forgiveness. This scene makes Anna recall the guilt she felt about the vaccine. As the surrounding area begins to shake from the explosion in the laboratory, Olga's body starts to glow, and she gradually loses control. She smashes the glass and attacks Kira. Meanwhile, Nikolai discovers that the explosion has damaged the pressure pump, which will cause the facility to collapse within an hour. He wants to find a way to escape and doesn't care about the soldiers trapped on the lower floors. This leads to him being struck by Sergei. However, Morozov agrees that going back to rescue the soldiers is too dangerous. So, they will escape through the emergency tunnels. Sergei accompanied Anna to the laboratory to retrieve Olga's samples, and they uncovered something horrifying. The entire laboratory is covered in mold. Olga almost melts into the floor but is still alive. Anna didn't have any protective gear, but still tried to collect samples. However, when Anna and Sergei approach, Olga begins to release a cloud of spores. Sergei lay in pain on the floor, while Anna stepped back and found a gas mask to avoid inhaling it. At this moment, Anna encounters Kira, who has also been infected and has mutated like Olga. Suddenly, Kira's chest bones protruded as she lunged forward to attack Anna. Anna tries to leave the room and experiences a hallucination as guilt overwhelms her. When she woke up, she found a fire extinguisher. She uses it to clean the air around her and can open doors without letting mold escape. After closing the door, she asks Nikolai to use the fire extinguisher to disinfect her body afterward. Anna goes to check on Sergei, but it's too late. He has been infected and lost his sight. When Anna informs everyone about Kira, Pyotr explains that this is not a supernatural phenomenon. The mysterious mold is similar to the parasitic fungus that infects ants, causing them to return to their colony to spread spores and infect others around them. Anna asks Morozov to speak privately so she can reveal her findings. This fungus dies when exposed to cold, and it has used the human body to survive in the permanent areas above. She wants to stay with Sergei to search for any remaining survivors. Meanwhile, Morozov plans to return to the surface and call for a rescue team, but this is not an option. The facility will be sealed in 5 hours, and no one will come to save them. Morozov orders everyone to wear protective suits in preparation to leave. At that moment, they receive a message from Igorov, warning them not to open the door, even for their sake. After a long debate, Pyotr reminds everyone that this is their only chance for survival, so they must open the door. They send 3 soldiers down the emergency tunnels to investigate first. They quickly return after firing at something enormous that tried to attack them, but they can't identify what it was. The 3rd soldier also returns without an arm. He ends things with a knife just before the group closes the door. Something in the escape hatch had sensed their presence. It started pounding on the door, trying to break free. The group fled toward the back of the area, where they found the final elevator. Nikolai starts working on finding a way to lower the elevator, hoping the emergency brakes will hold. Sergei's body starts to glow, and he knows he has very little time left. Therefore, he decided to stay behind to try and stop the mysterious creature, allowing his teammates to escape. Anna, Nikolai, Pyotr, and Morozov enter the elevator and hold on tightly as it begins to fall. The immense pressure makes it difficult for Nikolai to reach the brake lever, so Anna has to leave her seat and do it for him. Fortunately, she pulls the lever just in time, and the elevator safely reaches the lowest floor. It is much colder there than they expected. All the rooms are covered in ice. A recording from a scientist reveals that he too discovered the mold weakens in cold conditions. The ice age may have kept it underground for many years. However, sooner or later, it will realize that eternity has no boundaries, and it may break free. This organism has learned how to dissolve the bodies of the infected to combine them together for warmth and strength. For this reason, the group finds no survivors. They only find bodies stuck to the walls, blending into a pile of melted mold. All of them died from the cold. Morozov takes the last protective suit and enters the area with temperatures reaching 200 degrees to retrieve the elevator key from Grigoriev. While waiting for him to return, Anna asks Nikolai and Pyotr not to speak of the mold when they get back to the surface, because doing so would attract more people to investigate and put humanity in danger. Nikolai agrees, but Pyotr hesitates, as he had hoped to make a significant discovery that would help him stand out. When Morozov takes too long to return, Anna decides to go into the hot zone herself to find it. She doesn't wear protective gear because, Theoretically, the human body can survive in this environment for a few minutes. As blisters begin to appear on her body, Anna finds Morozov dead on the floor. His protective suit has been sabotaged by Grigoriev. At least he still holds the elevator key in his hand. After seeing the glowing mold on the walls, Anna grabs the key and runs inside. Nikolai tries to help her. Suddenly, Pyotr shoots him in the leg and demands the elevator key, so that he can get out and receive the glory he deserves for this discovery. They give him the key. Pyotr takes both of them into the second elevator, holding them hostage with a gun. When they return to the resort, they head to the corridor of the first elevator to investigate. Pyotr forced Anna to go to the elevator alone, then intended to shoot her. However, he is suddenly attacked by the strange creature from the emergency tunnel. It is a creature formed from infected staff members who have melted and fused into one. They are still alive and screaming in pain. As the creature kills Pyotr, Anna runs and hides in the dining room, but the creature follows her. She grabs a knife and enters the freezer. An idea flashes in her mind. She removes most of her clothes and pours a bucket of ice water over herself to lower her body temperature, making it impossible for the mold to invade her. Then, she steps out and crawls underneath the creature. She retrieves the elevator key from Pyotr, who has also been absorbed, and locks the door behind her. Anna quickly runs out of the dining room and searches for Nikolai so they can escape together. However, the creature discovers them and breaks through the wall. They both run until they reach the elevator and luckily manage to close the door just as the creature tries to reach in. The elevator starts moving up, but Nikolai and Anna encounter one final surprise. Sergei is also there, melted into the floor, begging them to do something as he coughs up spores. Anna stops the elevator because she doesn't want to bring the mold outside. Nikolai, unwilling to die here, reactivates the elevator. They begin fighting for control of the elevator. As Nikolai is about to kill Anna, Sergei uses his last bit of strength, lifting his arm and using his exposed bones to kill Nikolai first. As a thank you, Anna tells Sergei that she is from Yugoslavia and kisses him before continuing to work on the elevator. Anna remembers that entering the wrong code 3 times will cause the elevator to fall, so she begins entering the code. However, this becomes more difficult as her body is also infected with the mold and starts glowing. She feels weak and in pain. The first 2 times she enters the code are slow but go smoothly. However, on the 3rd attempt, she had only entered half of the code when she fainted, as the elevator ascended to the surface. So, she struggles against the grip of the rescue team to enter the final numbers. The elevator begins its self-destruct process and starts falling. Anna leaves with the new rescue team in a truck, surrounded by soldiers. She takes the opportunity to secretly grab a grenade from them before exiting the vehicle. Just as the truck departs from the facility, she sees other scientists arriving. Anna approaches and detonates the grenade, ending the story just as it began. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss exciting videos like this. Thank you for watching.